Hear ye, everybody. Welcome to the March 2025 Power Platform Community Call. I am so excited. My name is David Warren with Quizzitive, and with me is Shane Young. How are you doing today, Shane?
I am lovely. We just had a fabulous conversation about all things of shoes. So, I'm really in the Power Platform mood, like platform heels, Power Platform. Like, it's the same thing, right?
It's all the same thing. Yes, we had talked about how I bought a pair for my wife. It happened to be my size. She never wore it once. I was so sad. But, it's the thought that counts, right? But I'm excited because we are live with the community in this call, and we have got a wonderful and amazing call in store for all of you. What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about our community resources, our community samples. We've got news and events with April Dunham. We've got group picture time. Everybody loves it. And then we're going to have three amazing presenters today. Deenuji is going to be here talking about run Power Automate desktop flows in parallel. And Nilüfer is going to be talking about Copilot Studio, fetching images from SharePoint and dynamic signatures from Power Apps using Power Automate. Talk about power. And then Angeliki, she's back to talk about how to add your Copilot Studio agent to a model-driven apps side pane. So lots of broad spectrum opportunities to learn here together today. So we are super excited. But first, let's talk about all the other wonderful resources that are available to each and every one of you in the community. We've got our Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. This is a YouTube channel that breaks all the rules. What do we mean by that? It means that we post important information every single day on there. You're going to find new videos available, which breaks that algorithm of YouTube saying you should only post a couple times a week. Nope, we're doing it every day because we love the community. So make sure you like and subscribe to all those amazing videos. We've got our LinkedIn page and group for discussions. We've got open source tooling. We've got plenty of sample galleries, some of which we will talk about today. And you don't have to worry about remembering all these AKAs or URLs or any of these hyperlinks. Nope, just a couple, aka.ms/community/home. And we've got our brand new fancy community.ms top level domain. So shoot that into a address bar in your favorite browser and you will absolutely be able to access all these amazing resources. And as you're watching today, you may think, these are some cool things and I do some cool things and I'd love to share cool things. Well, we want you to share cool things because this call is for you. It is about the community, presented by the community. So don't overthink it. Don't think that you have to make a flux capacitor and what makes time travel possible. Shane, I think we really love to see all kinds of samples and presentations, right?
I think so. Yes, I definitely every month I go on my same little soapbox here. I'll try to stay off the soapbox. But yeah, you guys share what you know. Get out here, engage with the community, and you just never know where it's going to lead. And a lot of times what people fall guilty is what we call the curse of knowledge, right? You're hey, if I figured it out, everyone must know it. That is not true. Everyone is on a different journey. Everyone's got different stuff to learn. The other challenger would be say, someone's already made it. Like that Shane guy, he's got 500 plus Power Apps videos. Clearly he's already covered it, probably. But sometimes it's hearing it said a different way, with a different angle, with a different style. That's what makes it click for people. So if you've got stuff to share, come on, sign up, join, let's share your information.
100%. Awesome. Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Shane. Well, let's move into a little bit about what makes everybody excited, those Power Platform samples and badges. So let's start with the samples with Kate. Tell me more, Kate.
Yay! Thank you very much, David. Hello, everybody. Today we have a lot of new cool additions to our Power Platform sample snippets and prompts libraries. And let's start with the samples. We have three new cool stuff here. The first sample came from Summer Duty. This is a chart for Power Apps. So if you would like to go beyond all the built-in charts available in the Power Apps Canvas apps, you should check this sample. Each chart built as a single component, making it super easy to learn, explore, and incorporate into your own projects. Thank you so much, Samir, for this beautiful application. The second Power Apps sample we built together with my partner, Artyom, during the Hack Together in February, during the hackathon. This is Term Buddy, a tool that makes term management easy. A good illustration how three clouds, Power Platform, Azure, and Microsoft 365 can be integrated. In this application, you'll find the Copilot Studio agent, required Azure resources, and a Canvas app application for parameters management and analytics. And the third application sample came from Manish Solanki, our regular contributor. This is a Power Automate flow, allows you to mention teams or channel in a message. Very well structured and useful. Thank you so much, Manish, for constantly sharing such great examples. And let's move to snippets. We have two marvelous new snippets here. The first one shared Clarissa. This is a perfect illustration of usage of named formulas and user-defined functions, how you can leverage them to make a nicely gradient background. I love named formulas and gradient background, and this snippet for sure will save you development time. Excellent work, and thank you very much, Clarissa. And another snippet came from Shrutika. This is an example how you can send charts as a message in Copilot Studio agent. Super cool, and look how beautiful messages could be when you, instead of just a text, send nice graphics. Thank you very much for sharing this useful snippet. And also we have a ton of prompts from April, Daniel, Sari, Pugatak, and Ravindra. These prompts were crafted for AI Builder, Power Apps, and Copilot Studio. So you can build application, analyze, evaluate, and more. Super, super cool and super useful. A huge thanks to all our contributors. You make difference. You help the community to learn and to grow, and we are very appreciated. And as always, I would like to highlight that everything that you can see here completely free, and samples are unmanaged, so you can start explore them. You can learn, you can get inspired by them and use them. And I encourage everybody to become a contributor as well. Just follow the link that you can see on this slide, explore the contribution guide, and rock. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ping me and I will be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much, and that's all from my side today, and let's grow together.
Awesome, Kate. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Great job. And Kate's doing an amazing job in helping maintain that repo and all those repos. So thank you so much. All right, now you may be wondering, well, hey, how do I contribute to some of these amazing initiatives? Well, Sharing is Caring is here to provide that. We just had one earlier last week. We're going to get some more scheduled here very soon because we've got some exciting campaigns coming up. But what are these sessions? They are live. They are hands-on. They're going to walk you through a number of things, such as, for example, hey, what is GitHub, that hub of Gits, that GitHub hubs, that labyrinth of confusion on code and adding things into a repository? What is a repository? We're going to walk through all that together. It's going to be live. It's hands-on. It is a safe space, which means we do not record any of it. So you're free to ask any and all questions that you would like without worrying about, should I be asking this question? Does everybody else know the answer to this question? Now you're afraid to ask it. We shouldn't be. We should learn together. So keep an eye out for ak.ms/sharingiscaring for more sessions coming soon. And we're going to try to pack a couple of them into the next month or two. Stephanie Marshall, Todd Clint are going to lean in and help out. April and I are working on some other topics, as you see, responsive Power Apps, component libraries. So really exciting and fun stuff. But we want to recognize you when you contribute. That is right. We have our recognition program, which is absolutely alive and well. So we know some of those popular badges, which are absolutely fun and everybody's been getting excited about. So things like our Prompt Pro, we've got the Snippet Sorcerer. We just finished up the two events, Powerful Devs and SharePoint Hackathon, Repo Rescuer, and Modern Search. And that's right. The May the 4th themed badges have been released. May the open source be with you. The Fork Awakens and Rise of the Contributor. These are going to be available for 3 full months, starting in April, May, and June. You just need to contribute once to get one of them, 3 times to get the second, and then only 5 to get all 3 if you want to get the whole set. So we absolutely encourage you. And oh, by the way, when you join a Sharing is Caring session and you actually fulfill the contribution on there, it's a contribution. So you're going to get that badge. Absolutely, that first badge. So we're excited. So thank you. All you got to do is opt in, ak.ms/community/recognition. And we're going to revive something we used to do a long time ago, everybody. We're really excited about this. We're going to start recognizing each and every one of you. I want to thank all of our contributors. This slide is one of 2. We had to split into 2 sessions. Or 2 slides. And so the first Tuesday of each month and this monthly call, we're going to recognize all those who contributed. It was a little hard to do before, but now with the recognition program, we can run some scripts and grab your names, and we want to call each of you out. We're not going to name each of you, but this slide is fantastic. It's a great opportunity to show the additional work that you're doing in the community. So snippet this, share it with the community, share it with your bosses, share it with your clients so they know that you are making a difference. Share it on the socials, scream it from the rooftops. We absolutely want you to be excited, and thank you. And again, if your name isn't here and you have been contributing, let me know, but it should be pulling everybody from the recognition program when you submit those PRs. So super, super exciting. And these are some of our additional names. So please continue to contribute. We want to thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. Our way of, again, calling you out in a fantastic way. Okay, it is now time to talk about some events. So we've got a number of events coming up. We're going to run through these pretty quick. The Future of You is Yours at Build. We've got that coming up in May. We've got the Microsoft 365 conference coming up in May as well. So I know a number of folks from the community are going to be there. Excited to see you all. We've also got European Collaboration Summit coming up in May, the end of May. This is kind of a hat trick. So we've got the Collaboration Summit, the AI and Cloud Summit, the BizAss Summit. We've also got the TechCon 365 events coming up later throughout the year and across the country of the United States. We've got the Epic Power Platform Conference coming in October. So excited for that as well. And of course, Ignite is always an exciting event to be part of. And we've got ESPC. So tons of stuff going on at the big level, but there are also tons of small community events that are a ton of effort, by the way. Did I say ton enough? I think I did. It's a ton of effort to put into all these. So please, where and when you can, support these local events. Put the chat or the links in the chat for some of these. You can find more at aka.ms/community days, and you absolutely can also include your event there. So please go support your local friends when and where you can. Some of these are local, some of them are not, some of them are virtual, some of them are hybrid. So find the ones that you can support and let them know. All right, time to move on to the news desk. We're going to start and move a little quickly through these, but we're going to start out with Shane and his notes from the field.
All right, my notes from the field. Hey, I got something really big in the works you're going to see in April. Can't tell you about that. But one of the things I can tell you about is, like, as I'm using these other tools, learning some new stuff, a lot of our core skills kind of keep coming back, right? So Power FX, right? I've been doing a lot more of that in tools that aren't called Power Apps very recently. So super interesting. OData filters. How good are you guys at OData? I'm finding that, to build with some of these new tools of the future, that, your ability to craft OData filters, super hard. And Flow kind of keeps sticking its nose in a lot of interesting places. So this is just a reminder that, like, sometimes we kind of get lost, right? Like, we think about, okay, I'm just learning Power FX and it's just for building my Power Apps, Canvas apps. But, it shows up in a lot of other tools today, and it continues to expand. OData filtering is just a good data skill set. So continue to develop these skills. They're more and more applicable outside of just what you're doing today. So, all right, I'll be quick, so I'll stop talking.
Awesome. That rocked it. Thank you, Shane. And let's move over with April to the latest news and learning opportunities.
Thank you, David. So we have a lot of new news and learn updates here. First, CodeView in Power Apps is now GA. So if you've been looking for an excuse to get that awesome snippet source or a badge, this is it. So this is the ability to copy and paste YAML in your Canvas apps. Generally available. No reason not to try that out and try creating some snippets and sharing those with the community. Next, create and use Power FX functions, that's hard to say, is in public preview. This is the artist formerly known as low-code plugins, for all of you that might be aware of that. This lets you create server-side logic in Power FX to reuse in your apps for things that are really common, like calculating the number of work days between dates. So definitely check that out. Next, we have introducing Visualize with Copilot. This is a new button that will show up in your model-driven apps that will use Copilot to create charts and graphs for your model-driven apps. We have the card gallery in Power Pages that is GA finally, and import and export agent components in Copilot Studio. This is really cool because it allows you to create a collection of reusable agent components. These could be topics, knowledge, action, entities, and you can share those between multiple agents within your environment. And on the Learn side, if you want to learn more about the Power FX functions, there's a Learn update there to create and reuse functions. And there's an update to customize Copilot chat using Copilot Studio, which walks you through how to customize the model-driven Copilot chat experiences using Copilot Studio. So definitely check all that out.
Awesome. Thank you, April. And the links are in the chat. We'll have them in the show notes. But don't go anywhere, April, because I think we got a couple of things to talk about.
Yeah, Yeah, we are all about community recognition here, and we want to thank everyone for their samples, snippets, prompts in our Power Platform repos. So I have started posting on LinkedIn every week. Be on the lookout for the snippet, sample, or prompt of the week. I just want to highlight the ones that we've done recently here with Shrutika and Clarissa. So really great use of snippets here. One for Power Apps using user-defined functions from Clarissa, and then a Copilot Studio topic snippet from Shrutika there showing how to render charts. So really huge shout out to both of you. Thank you so much for your contributions. We really appreciate it, and we want to celebrate you.
Awesome. Thank you, April. And thank you all of our contributors. Amazing, amazing stuff. All right, what time is it? It is picture time. So get those fantastic cameras with those fantastic faces turned on. I will move this over here as you are all getting your hair done and prepped and all that good stuff. And I will set up the Camtasia. Great to see you all. There we go. There we go. Move that over here, over there, over here. All right, very good. Move that so we see more of everyone. All right. Oh, look at that. It's nice and clear today. I got some cats. Stephanie's got some feline friends. Daniel's getting the dance on. All right, we got a couple more seconds, everybody. We're just running a little bit behind, so we want to make sure we get everybody an opportunity. See that camera get turned on. All right, there's Shane. The ET between Shane and Daniel. All right, very good. Okay, let's give this just a couple more seconds. Great to see you all. All right, let's 3, 2, 1. All right, let's wave to the community, everybody. Great to see you all. Again, thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing. Great to see you all, your passions, sharing it with everybody in the community. It again, would not be possible without all of you and your dedication. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let's get the show back on the road and move into our regularly scheduled program, which is going to begin with Deenu, and he's going to talk about run Power Automate desktop flows in parallel. So Deenu, if you'd like to take on over the screen, the floor is yours.
Sure, thank you, David. Hope my screen is visible, right?
Yep, looking good.
Okay, perfect. So hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank organizing team for this opportunity. This is the first time I'm presenting in the wider audience. So quickly introduce myself. I'm Deenuji Loganathan, working as a RPA architect with around 13 years of experience in the IT industry, and overall last 6 years I have been focusing on the RPA, and last 3 years especially I'm specializing in the Power Platform automation capabilities. So apart from my I contribute to the Power Automate community, where I have resolved nearly 300 topics. In the past year, I have been recognized as a super user for the last 2 seasons as well. Additionally, I share my RPA knowledge with the community through LinkedIn post and YouTube channel. So if you're interested in the Power Automate RPA, feel free to scan this QR code and follow me on the LinkedIn. So let's quickly move into the agenda. So first we will talk about what is the current challenges we have without that parallel flow. Then we will talk about that what is the new future and how we can override the current challenges and all. Then followed by some demos and examples and takeaways. So this is the one scenario, the user faced some issues on the, last month, and the scenario is when the user is automating a website, they faced some delayed pop-ups. Okay, this is not a kind of static pop-up. It's a kind of random pop-up. It will come in the between of 3 to 5 minutes after the flow execution. So whenever the flow started executing, and in the sudden it will automatically appear some blocker, the automation bot crash the automation. So we don't have any existing action that will handle the dynamic pop-up. The static pop-up we can handle utilizing different actions. For example, wait for the element and different if conditions as well. But dynamic is little challenging. That's what Microsoft into the new future that we will talk about later. So in the another scenario, I will show you how exactly that blocker is there. So this is the Invoice Pro CRM app I have developed. Here I'm trying to transfer the data from the Excel sheet to Invoice Pro CRM. I will show that demo. My browser also visible, right? Anyone can confirm, please?
Yep, you're good to go. Yep.
Yeah. So whenever I create a bot, and when it is interacting with this CRM app, for example, I'm just typing manually, suddenly that pop-up will appear. So it doesn't we don't know exactly when it will appear. For example, after entering this account ID or any specific location, we don't know. So that is where that complete block, it's a kind of blocker bot getting failed. Okay. So I'm just entering some sample values and click the save account, and I keep interacting with this application. Suddenly it the pop-up appears here. Even if bot try to interact with those text boxes, it not able to interact with those text boxes, right? So if I try to click on the save button, it is not saving. So it's a kind of blocker we have in the in the Invoice Pro CRM app itself. So this is how if you interact with manually, the same I will show in the desktop flow as well. Okay, so this is the input Excel data I want to transfer to this Invoice Pro app. So I have created this bot for that. So first it will read the data from Excel, and it will read all the data, including header, etc. Then it will launch the browser, the URL automate with w3space.com. Then it will click on the some certain buttons. Then it will feed all the information one by one in the loop. Okay, so I will run this flow. In the meanwhile, I will close this as well. It is launching the Excel. Now it is trying to launch the Edge browser. Then it will start feeding all the information one by one.
There should always be like some cinematic music for us while desktop is running, right? It's like some.
So bot entering all the information in each text boxes and clicking on the button save account. So randomly that pop-up will appear. So far now I have enabled the parallel flow. Sorry, just I will disable and show it again. Sorry, the launching Excel itself taking a little longer today.
Oh, that's just a gift from the demo gods, right? We're all good.
So we can see some pop-up in next few seconds that will block the complete execution of our parts. Okay, it shows some goal achievement, but still bot is trying to interact with all these text boxes and try to click on the save button. It's kind of flickering. So bot got failed in after some time. Okay. So this is the current challenge we have in the Power Automate desktop when you deal with in the dynamic pop-up. So last month, Microsoft released the latest feature, how to run the bot in the parallel. So in the Power Automate Cloud Flows, we all know that we can distribute the workloads and we can parallelly progress everything. But when you talk about so the bot, interacting with the system and other components is completely different, when we compare to the Power Automate Cloud. Okay, I will just close this and let's move to the slide. So you can see here, so Microsoft introduced the new toggle button, the run desktop flow action to enable the parallel execution. So parent flow continues the uninterrupted while child flows pop-ups. Okay, so whenever you dealing with a dynamic pop-up, you can enable disable this option. So we have toggle button in the desktop flow. I just enable this. So I have created the another flow just to handle only the pop-up. Okay. I will show how it look like. So here I have attached my instance, the running instance. It will just interact with only the pop-up button. and it will go in the loop. So even in the future, it will come one more pop-up, it will handle. Okay. So this is the another desktop flow I have created. The flow name is, invoice backend run. So I invoking that desktop flow here. So if you look at this, I am invoking that desktop flow. So whenever you disable this toggle button, it will run in the parallel. But if you want to enable that toggle button, your desktop flow will wait that invoked desktop flow to complete. It in case your desktop flow have any output variable, it will return. But when you deal with the dynamic pop-up and parallel execution, it will not return any output flows. Okay, let's see how it works right now. I will click save now. I enable this. So whenever the dynamic pop-up appears, this flow will run in the parallel. So whenever that pop-up appears, it will click on the got it button. Okay. I will close the existing instance. Okay, all good. I will click run now. It is launching the Invoice Pro CRM, and in the parallel way that flow also running. And it is waiting for that pop-up window. So whenever that pop-up window appears, quickly it will close that it will click that got it button so that it will not disturb the our bot execution. See, automatically it is handled. So it automatically in the parallel it will run the one more flow to handle only the pop-up. So remaining, if you want to run any parallel, it will not allow. And even if you run any other child flows in the parallel, it will not return any output as well. Okay, so we have to consider that as well in our mind. Let's move back to the slide. Okay, so it is support only the one parallel child flow per the parent flow. Okay, and whenever you run any child flows in the parallel, it will not return any output. All the input values are ignored in the parallel mode. So the overall takeaway is parallel execution is only max, we can leverage for only dynamic pop-up related workflows blockers, and it will handle only the one child flows, and it will not return any output from the desktop flow when you run in the parallel mode. Yeah, that's it I want to cover in the today's session. Any questions? I'm happy to answer.
Awesome, Dino. We'll let those questions go into the chat. Very, very cool. Thank you so much. This is really cool to show how to take advantage of that and use that. And this is Dino's first presentation on the call, everybody. So let's give him some congratulatory love and all of that. And you did awesome. Speaking of first timers, Nilüfer is also another first time presenter on our call. So we want to give her a warm welcome. She's going to talk about Copilot Studio fetching images from SharePoint and dynamic signatures from Power Apps using a Power Automate. So Nilüfer, if you would like to share your screen and you can take on over.
Thank you, David. Hello, everyone. This is Nilüfer from Turkey. As David said, today I will be presenting fetching images from SharePoint and dynamic signatures from Power Apps using Power Automate. First, let me introduce myself. I have been working as an AI engineer in a consultancy firm in Turkey, and my primary area of expertise are on Power Apps and Power Automate generally in Power Platform, and also I'm expertising Copilot Studio and Azure AI. Today, I will cover three things here actually. First, we will start with image tracking in SharePoint columns. Here we will use URL, creating dynamic URL, and then we will implement it into Power Automate, where we will use two input fields from Power Apps, which is add image input and pen input, where we will use signature. And lastly, we will see a proof of delivery app that covers all those topics, and we will see a quick demo there. And lastly, I will make conclusion, and let's start with the first one. First thing is image tracking in SharePoint columns. Maybe you are already familiar that while you are using image column in SharePoint, it's sometimes hard to define where it goes, where it's stored. So let's start with some retrieving image dynamic URL here. We will use our SharePoint site, then list name and item number and image column. But I want to show you my browser first to go step by step step. Here it's my SharePoint site, and in this SharePoint site I have list, which is proof of delivery system. Here I have 2 single line of text and 2 image column. Image columns are product and signature. Since all of them are same, I will only show you one of them. Let's start with the product one. Actually, let's go to the home page and delete the last part because I want to make API call. The step goes like that. First, we will get some information like file name of the image while making API call. Then we will use this by adding the URL, and we will have the image location in that way. First, I will write a API, and then as you see, it's already done by my side, so it's already appeared. Then we will define the list, and since there are lots of lists in this site, we define which list we will be working on. When we click that, it gives us lots of information, but since we want only the product column and for specific items, for our case to get the 10th item in my list, which is blue one. So I say items 10, and this is not enough. After that, I define my column. When I do that, actually, I got some information, as you see here, file name and original image name. Previously, it wasn't like that. It was including also the URL. But since it does not including URL now, we will create this URL by ourselves. How we will create that? Actually, this is API call, but we got already the file name. So while using this file name, I'll create it by myself. I will copy that one and delete the first one, API, because we won't making API call now. And writing list here, and we may get rid of this get by title part 2 because we want the actual name of the list. And then we need only the items number, but here there are some small things that we should that. Since this is image column, it's called as an attachment, the file name located. So we will call it like attachment. Here I write the column name, then the okay, and reserve image as you see the file name, and I will click and we will see the picture itself.
The interwebs are making us really work for our content today.
It takes a bit time.
Yeah.
So I may show you the Power Automate part while it's uploading because this will be the same that I want to show you. After it's uploaded, we will see the picture that I show you here, and the logic will be same in Power Automate. Actually, in my Power Apps, I have customer name, address, and product. And since after we get the exact link, the dynamic URL, we will use it in the Power Automate to call here. We start with the first trigger when an item is created, then we get the related items ID, and we put the ID to the send an HTTP request to SharePoint. First, we will get the file name while doing that. So the output will be like that. And since we want to get the string, the product one, and inside of it file name, we use the JSON here actually, and we split it and extract the file name. After we get that, we use it as an end part of the URL. So we use get file content using path. In that way, we produce already not created URL, which is for image column. Here we already created it, and last thing that I want to say that I created HTML table for that because I want to show it in a good way. So I put dynamic variables here. At the beginning, I show you some columns. A single line of columns is already written here. But another thing is image column should be written in that format where we just getting its content, because when you directly put it, it's not working. You have to be set that is base 64 format to get it correctly. And actually that's it. At the end of the day, you will get the file like I want to show it if it's possible with my internet. I will show you in a minute. After we write everything else here, like my customer name, address, product, and signature. Signature is pen input, and product product field is just add image input. At the end of the day, we will get the HTML file, that HTML file actually, where we got dynamic input, created date, location, customer name, customer address, approval name, approval signature, and that's it actually. Maybe I may make conclusion, and then I can finalize. My conclusion will be focusing on a couple of things. Actually, while we are doing that, we should be also focusing on image size, because if it's too big, it's not covered in the PDF, in the HTML, so we should adjust that while doing that. And also, since this is not dynamically verified signature, it may be regarded while doing that. And also another thing is list name and column name must be used how it is created at the initial because when you change the column name later and use the last version, it's not working when you are calling it with a HTTP request. And that's it. Sorry for interruptions, and thank you for having me today. If you need any, if you have any questions, recommendations, or ideas, feel free to reach out me. Thank you so much.
Nilüfer, awesome job. Yeah, don't worry about the bandwidth issues. That just happens. Angeliki, if you would like to take over the screen share to set up, that'd be great. But yeah, don't worry. Nilüfer, great job. I shared a chat, or excuse me, in the chat, a blog that Nilüfer wrote on this as well. So check it out. It'll be in the show notes too. But we are very, very grateful. Again, her first presentation, everybody. So she did awesome. Very, very great. Okay, so Angeliki is loading up here, and she is going to talk about how to add your Copilot Studio agent to a model-driven apps side pane.
So hi everyone, it's awesome to be back today. So thank you so much for the opportunity. One more demo, one more movie theme, and today we have how to train your Copilot Studio Agent Dragon, and particularly how to hack the client API in any model-driven app or your Dynamics 365 app in order to have your agent work with you from the side pane. So a quick intro before we start. My name is Angeliki Patsiavou. I am a BizOps MVP that lives in the UK, but I'm originally Greek-Italian. And I'm also, in a different life, I was also change manager, so ProSite certified as well. I'm a bit of a hybrid, so I'm already in my third career within CRM, but definitely love and bleed CRM in that way. So I'm currently in the function architecture space, and I love all things Copilot Studio as well. But I also love the community. So opportunities like today or any other kind of events, as well as blogging, is definitely where my passion lies. So thank you once again for this opportunity. Just another example of how much the community means is internally at Avanade, where I work here in the UK, I lead the Copilot community for biz apps globally. So it's a massive opportunity to grow skills together, to build that community, and ultimately to support people worldwide. So it's very exciting. My blog is called empoweredhumans.net. I will share some posts later today based on the demo, and also feel free to reach out on social media. So with that in mind, why are we even talking about this kind of topic? And you might wonder, side panes, why are they so special? Well, to begin with, think of the context that they provide you. So when you're navigating your app, whether it's a model-driven app or a Dynamics app, you're working through a lot of records. So maintaining that context whilst you're using your app, instead of thinking of embedding your agent within a specific tab, really supports you. So as you're going through your data, you're maintaining that seamless native experience, and your agent becomes your omnipresent assistant. Now, with that in mind, it's about real estate as well. So if you think about your general navigation, you want to minimize the white space as well as minimizing the cognitive load that you might give from putting your agent within the real estate of a tab alone. So there's a lot of UI UX opportunities as well. Now, if you flip it on its head, and you might wonder what's wrong with just putting an iframe in a tab? Well, there's nothing wrong in principle, but we have to think about it situationally speaking. So think of yourself, for example, as a customer service representative for a moment. You're juggling multiple calls or multiple messages from different customers, and you're probably multitasking between different cases or different customer profiles at the same time. So it's not easy to be switching between tabs and working with your agent versus the customer's data all at the same time, especially because of the bulk of work you're faced with. Now, at the same point, it might disrupt the way you're interacting with your app. So, as your customer is talking to you, you're probably entering some data, whether it's a new case, whether it's logging in what will be our demo scenario, a new hotel booking. There's all sorts of things that you may be entering into the system. But if your whole real estate is dominated by your agent, then you're going to disrupt that natural process that you're going through with the data entry. So there's a lot of reasons why you can optimize your real estate by having the sidepane do that work for you. So let's have a look. What is the use case? I kind of give it away a little bit, but we are going to look at the use case of hotel agents, particularly supporting customer service representatives that are just swamped with calls or all sorts of messages as well. So put yourself in their shoes for a moment. They are inundated with all sorts of cases and questions. Sometimes people are calling them to check in on whether their booking is confirmed. Sometimes they have a very odd question about this property that is very, very far away, and they've never heard about that specific facility being offered there before, or maybe they need to help with making new reservations. And remember, we're dealing with multiple requests at the same time, so we need an agent that can support us in that multitasking. At the same time, and speaking about multitasking, we need to still maintain it seamless. One of the things that we are looking at in the general customer service world is to provide a really good customer experience that can also reduce the workload for the representatives as well. And one of the metrics that really help us monitor this is something called the first contact resolution rate. So how quickly can we solve their query or address their needs from that first point of contact? And looking at different ways to optimize the representatives tools and UI and UX they're working with can really help drive that as well. So what we're going to look at is a native capability. So we're going to look at using the client API to embed our agent within the side pane and really assist us like a mighty dragon. So I want to summarize the tools that we're going to use before we see it into the system, just to see what our toolkit looks like. So first off, we're going to work with a web resource that is purely just an HTML script to point to our agent. And this we're going to get very easily firsthand from Copilot Studio. Next up, we're going to have to use an icon for our agent. So similar to how you've already seen the sidepane, for example, populated with the native Copilots, whether it's the Power Apps one, whether it's the Dynamics one, we have an icon, right? So you definitely have to choose one of those. Now, I wanted to keep it simple, so I looked at the existing library, which you can see with some imagery to use an icon that has not been served yet through the side pane, but you can also add your own, so either or. And then we have a second web resource. Now, this is going to do the majority of the work. This is going to be a JavaScript one that is going to call the API and is going to set all the parameters for us. And what do we mean by that? Of course, we're going to add the icon. We're going to give it a name because this is our agent. We can also work with the different behaviors that we can customize for the agent. So think, for example, from a positioning perspective, because we might be working with very specific devices for a customer service representative. So we want to make sure that this behavior aligns to what they have in place. And so the final tool that we're going to use, because where is this web resource is going, right? We are going to go within the main form of a particular record and an entity. In this case, we're going to go within the customer one and use an unload event. So what behavior we're going to observe in practice is that when we launch a customer record, we are going to have an agent launching simultaneously through the side pane, and it will remain persistent as we navigate the app. And this is the behavior that I was explaining, where it can really help us as we navigate between records, between different tables, all places within the app. We are still able to converse with our agent. We don't have to worry about going back and forth, adding data, or working through multiple cases, and so forth. Okay, so just to give you a screenshot of what we're going to see, essentially here we have an example of a customer record, and we're going to see this in real time, actually. So we have Mick Jagger, actually, that is calling us up. Yes, I know we have very famous clients in this hotel. And basically, he's checking in on a reservation. He wants to make sure that everything is in order. Of course, we could go and browse the endless inventory that we have with reservations, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just add very briefly the reservation number, nothing more than that, and then the agent just gives us in context, whilst we're on a call, and opened up the customer profile, a full summary for it, so we don't even have to worry about finding it. We don't even have to worry about summarizing it in case the customer has any further questions. So it's this kind of context that can really help speed up the experience for the representative and ultimately get the customer where they need to faster. Okay, I think I've said enough. Let's have a bit of a magical demo, shall we? So hopefully everyone can see my browser.
Yep, it is loaded. Looks great. Yep.
Lovely, lovely. And hopefully this is zoomed in enough, but hey, why don't we zoom in a little bit more? Now, I did promise you that our first tool is gonna be an HTML web resource. Now, of course you could write it yourself, but why make our lives hard, where we can actually go straight into the channel side of our Copilot Studio agent, which in this case is called Vista. And we're going to click through custom website as part of our channels. And it in fact gives you the HTML piece that we need. So boom, that's done. We now will upload it into a web resource that we can use within the app. So it's super easy. So that's done. Now, the second thing that we need to do, and I did promise you web resource wise, is we're going to have a JavaScript one. And this essentially is calling the API and is creating the side pane presence for our agent. As part of it, we do need the icon, which if you see here, in fact, just to show you a little bit in context, the whole thing, I've taken a screenshot of Visual Studio just in case it behaved in real time. And we can see a few different things here. I've even added you some notes about how every line behaves. And you will also see the same in the blog with a snippet to download for your own use and experiments. Now, a few things we can notice in the JavaScript code here, we're giving it a title. The icon that I mentioned, which you can choose whether you're uploading your own web resource or choosing an existing one that is not being used, is used in the second line here, so line 6. We can control some of the behaviors between line 7 and 9. And this is important, for example, the width, because depending on what devices your users are preferring or being provided with, for example, let's say the primary usage is through tablets or through a massive screen, then you can adjust your UI accordingly. And thus, as you work through this, which as you can see is a very simple line, is a very simple few lines, you upload it as your second web resource, and thus that is the extent of the library that you're using. Now, we did say we're going to upload this as an event handler. So what we do is go into the main form. In this case, I want it within a customer record. And we're going to use an unload event because the behavior we want to drive is unload the customer for the customer representative, the agent, the minute they open up a customer record, and to continue their experience. So after we've uploaded the JavaScript piece, then we will invoke it from the library. We use the show side pane function, which we're also referencing in the code anyhow, but just remember this is the function. And of course, as soon as we publish, then the magic is done. But don't take my word for it. I think we should see it in real time. So let me take you through the Smart Hotel 365 app. That is the CRM app that our customer service representatives are using. And as you can see, there's all sorts of things that they can take advantage of. They can browse a list of the customers. This particularly is a view of the high net worth customers, hence why there's so many popular names appearing here. All the different reservations that are available within the system, the different property locations. Now, in this case, and this is not an ad on any kind of specific project, I chose Marriott as an example. So this is realistic data from the whole Marriott property inventory. We have a list of the available rooms between the different properties that we are looking at as part of some promo that we're running and all sorts, because at the same time, you can also host in the CRM app things about HR when it comes to, let's say, raising a vacation request, or maybe service desk specific tickets that they may have to raise. For example, there's a special code that has expired for Wi-Fi for the user, and so they need to raise a new ServiceNow ticket, for example. So there's all sorts of cool things and integrations you can do. But I did promise you to show you how the site pane agent will work. So let's say we open up Mick Jagger's account. Remember, he's calling us up. He has all sorts of questions. And as you can see, as we launch our customer records, our agent is loading as well. And this is going to behave the same way. In this case, we have a manual authentication with the bot. Great. Let's get our code and start interacting with our agent. So there we go. So we are welcomed, welcome to Marriott Hotels. And in this case, Mick Jagger is just very antsy about whether his reservation has been confirmed, because he's paid a lot of money about this. So here we are interacting with our agent, and it's guiding us through what kind of questions we want to ask, which is much better than going through a completely free flow experience. In this case, the topic gives us some option. I want to check the reservation details because, yes, I can click through the latest reservation in the app, but guess what? Mick Jagger is a very loyal client, so he has multiple reservations. And instead of me perusing all the reservations inventory, I can't be bothered. I don't have the time really. So I'm just going to give a quick reservation number, and the agent will do the rest of my work. So it will give me a summary of all the details I need to know about this booking. I can give it back to Mick Jagger. He has peace of mind that his assistant has done their job right, because his booking is actually not far from now, and he's paid almost 20K for this. So he wants to make sure that all is sorted, and Bob's your uncle. So that is it. The final thing that I wanted to share with you is that I do have a post that has everything you need to know about setting this up step by step. So that's available. And if you have general questions about embedding agents within either your Power App, Dynamics apps, or even Power Pages, there's a separate blog post. So I'm going to give you all the codes for this as well. And if I may quickly switch for that to the presentation, then I can share that in a moment. So feel free to scan the QR codes. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. The Site Pane Agents blog post is here, and the Embedding Agents blog post is here. So feel free. Everything is step by step with screenshots, so you can replicate it. And there's some samples you can download as well if you want to experiment within your own Visual Studio Code environment. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Awesome stuff, Angeliki. Thank you so much. Perfect timing as well. So I do appreciate that. Excellent job on that. Put those links there for those that maybe didn't capture the QR code into the chat. We'll also have them in the show notes for those that are watching on demand. Just want to say thank you to all three of our presenters, Deenu, Nilüfer, and Angeliki. Again, Deenu and Nilüfer is their first time, so really appreciate it. And Angeliki, always great visuals. Love the artwork and all the creativity in your theme. So excellent job. Shane, any gifts of gratitude you would like to share?
I just, like you said, right? Like, applause, great job. And I love this, right? Like, you guys get to see the range. Those of you who are thinking about presenting. We got 2 new presenters, and we got 1 presenter who's presented so many times I knew what her slides were going to look like. Like, this is the idea, though. We want different people at different levels presenting. We want different ideas. Look, we got Power Automate Desktop. We got crazy SharePoint image columns and all the fun you can have with them. And then we got Copilot Studio integrated and model-driven apps. Like, we ran the gamut today, and that's the idea. You have something to share. You have knowledge, just like these three awesome people did today. So please join us. And also, please, as you get a chance, congratulate the three of them on a great job today. We look forward to all of you being back sometime in the future.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Before you wrap it up, everybody, we do have some resources we want you to have access to. If you're first timers, we've got our community front door videos on YouTube, our Power Platform samples, and of course, all of our communities where you can interact with one another. So check those out. If you like this community call, we got plenty more. The weekly Microsoft speakers call is every Tuesday. That is those Microsoft presenters, program managers, product managers doing amazing things, showing you insights that you won't get anywhere else. Of course, this is the monthly Power Platform call. We've got our monthly office add-ins and our bi-weekly sibling calls, the M365 Power Platform community and the Viva Connection SharePoint framework, which is tomorrow. And those flip-flop every Thursday. Speaking of next Tuesday, we're going to see some cool things around Copilot Studio. So Paolo is going to be with us working with topics and actions in Microsoft Copilot Studio. And then the whole team, Ika, Bob, Paolo, and Vesa are going to be in an AMA. So bring those questions. If you don't have questions, ask Copilot for questions. It'll give you some, and let's challenge them, and let's have a good collaborative conversation. Are you a fan of Discord? Then we would love to see you in our Discord server. This is a great one-stop shop where many, many areas of the community can be collaborated on in one place. And you can impress your kids that you are in Discord. So check it out, aka.ms/community/Discord. We'd love to get some feedback on the calls. So if you have any feedback for us, positive or constructive, we appreciate it. Please let us know. The recording will be available in 24 hours on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. If you get a message in Teams telling you it's ready to download, it's a pretty little liar, so don't believe it. But if you do go subscribe to our Community Learning YouTube channel, you will be alerted as soon as it is available. We recommend that. But you can also find us on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Twitter, X, all the socials. Our next call is going to be April 16th, 2025. Wow, I need to update that. Apologies, 2025. We're not going back in time. No flux. Great Scott. We need to update that. So it will be April 16th, 2025, everybody. So we look forward to seeing you. Again, thank you all for the amazing work that you are doing in the community. We would not be able to have opportunities and learning experiences like this if not for your passion and willingness to collaborate. So please keep it up. Get opted into all those recognition programs and be part of the community. Ask others if they'd like to collaborate. Don't be afraid. It's a wonderful community to be part of. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. See ya. Bye-bye. Shane, any final words?
Peace out.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.